Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Gal. This is my channel, and I've literally just got out of the shower about 10 minutes ago. My hair is still wet. I don't really kind of mind. I've got makeup on, no makeup on, and my hair is wet. But I'm guessing I want to be a little bit more relaxed about how I do these videos. So that's good. How's my day been? I've been to work. I got absolutely soaked going to work. It was one of those really weird summer um torrential downpours, and I kind of thought I was going to have to swim for the bus at one point, but yeah, I got to work and that wasn't too bad. But the thing with work is there's like four main floors to where I work, and on one floor, the aircon will be freezing cold. On the other floor, it'll be like really hot, really hot. So they haven't quite kind of got the balance right between it. So it feels like a little bit like aversion therapy some days. But that said, I've had a pretty good day. I've got a few things done. I had to take some garden waste to the tip. I spent a lot of time gardening the other weekend, and I don't want to go too often to the tip to take my garden waste because they kind of get to they might start thinking that I'm running a business or something. So I worry about lots of things. I worry sometimes about the smallest things that most people don't worry about, and I'm really envious of people that actually don't worry about stuff. They don't worry if they missed a bus. They don't worry if if they don't worry about the little things like I've just said. For them, they wouldn't care about, filling up garden waste and taking it down every single week. Whereas I kind of get a bit sort of paranoid about, what other people might think and how they might react. And I guess I've kind of like been like a little bit of um, chicken all my life. I've always sort of towed the line. Occasionally I have little blow-ups, but nothing that will ever kind of um, I don't know, curtail my freedoms in life. And but I would like to be a little bit more kind of carefree. And but I've kind of reached an age now where it's I don't know. Is there an age where you become like set in your ways, where you think that you can't change certain patterns? And I guess this probably goes back to my original video that I did on this channel from 2020 April. I think it was April, maybe May or June. But yeah, it's there are certain patterns I want to change, and 4 years on, haven't really kind of changed those patterns. But I think it's because, like I said, I took on, I started doing YouTube videos and music videos, and I think the problem is that I thought that was going to kind of fill the gap and replace the bad habits that I have, and didn't really, to be honest, because I think they're two different things. And I think it's something that I think I've got an addictive personality, and I need to kind of focus that addiction onto something else. Sometimes I think you have to just accept who you are, but maybe channel what you've got into something um, less destructive, more productive. And so yeah, I am hoping to get back down to the gym. We do have a gym by work. It's a works gym, and it's a really good place to be. I always enjoyed going to the gym. Then what actually happened was that they had a refurb, so they moved sort of down the road, and it was just it was just a pain. It was a bit sort of hit and miss, and I just didn't go. I just stopped altogether because it wasn't really kind of it was too far away from work, so my schedule was thrown out and everything like that. But so yeah, that was everything about today. Getting soaked, going to work, freezing cold, really hot, and I suppose the other things that you can't sort of ignore the wider world when um, you can talk about yourself, and but sometimes what goes on internally is a reflection of maybe what's going on in the wider world. And I suppose the two things that stand out today are I mean, I love a bit of Olympics. I like to watch the random sports like equestrian sports, swimming, archery. I just, anything volleyball, beach volleyball, handball. Just, I love, and especially rowing. I mean, that's just such a mad physical sport. It's just, some of this stuff's amazing to watch. I really got into I think it was a skateboarding and a BMXing last time. That was really, really cool. Sky Brown, that was her name. But there's a couple of stories running today, and they're both to do with the same sport, which is boxing. And we have two individuals. One's Khalif's from Algeria, and the other one's Lin Ting from Taiwan. They're both boxers, and there's a big kind of question about their gender. And most people aren't really questioning it. They're basically saying that these two females are actually guys, and they're competing against females, and it's grossly unfair. Ultimately, there is no actual facts as such as to whether they were born female or male at the moment, but allegedly the International Boxing Association, the IBA, claimed that they failed the gender eligibility tests for the World Championships. And so it is kind of concerning because, being trans, you don't want, every day there's something that kind of throws, identity into disrepute. And for sure, 100%, if these were born, guys, then I would be really kind of heavily against them competing. And even if they've had some sort of testosterone imbalance throughout their life, but they were born female, I think questions need to be asked, and it's really unfair on female athletes. And I don't think I'm putting a downer on trans people competing in sports, but I think physically there is an unfair advantage. So that was one thing, and also the other thing in the news is Keir Starmer's 10 Downing Street podium speech about basically controlling the right wing of these people who are being, I don't know, I suppose you could say rioting, but protests. There have been other protests as well, which have unfairly been targeted by the police, by the looks of it. And there was a peaceful protest outside a migrant hotel, which was probably, um, maybe the assumption was made by the police that that would descend into more riots and possible incursions and violence and stuff. But I think ultimately Keir Starmer's they're very quick to kind of label a big group of people as far right, and there's no real evidence about that. And I'm against burning buildings down and looting and stuff like that. Of course, it's completely wrong. The only people that they hurt are essentially local people, and I think with any protests that get out of hand, I remember watching the BLM protests in I think it may have been in America, and there was one black lady who was I think she was a former Marine, I think she said, and she said basically that everybody that had burnt down buildings and attacked things, and they weren't like her. And I can only read into that they maybe were not black, they may have been white, and that she said that they burnt a bank and they destroyed some. Basically, there was some PowerPoint set up for homeless people to be able to charge a mobile phone, which I think were gifted to the homeless people. And the looters and the rioters, they burnt this fascia of a bank, and so homeless people couldn't even charge their phone. So it's not that I'm completely 100% against lawful rebellion and revolution and stuff like that. I am kind of I don't feel comfortable with people destroying other people's property to make a point about some other people that aren't even there. And so I think Keir Starmer. I think the people that have been kind of writing. I don't think they did it in the name of the girls that were murdered. I think they were just. I think a lot of people have sort of reached a point, a boiling point now, a tipping point. And yeah, I tried to. I suppose I don't want to get too kind of political about this because whenever I have a thought in my head, I kind of I then sort of end up challenging that, and what I tend to do, what I like to do, is just take a step back and see the bigger picture of everything. And sometimes things make sense more. Sometimes they make even less sense because you can't, perceive a motive or an ultimate goal. And yeah, with this, I guess it's just a case of there's so much kind of stuff going on that I think people just need to take count to 10 and take a step back and try and see a bigger picture of how things could progress conceivably. But obviously, when horrible, heinous um, crimes are committed, and people get angry, and if there's other stuff going on, it's like a catalyst then for them to get become even angrier, and they kind of get fueled up, and what we've also got to be careful of is not listening to everybody on the internet, because um some allegations about people events aren't always true. And you just got to kind of take a step back. So, but in myself today, I'm in quite good spirits. I have really low days sometimes, and it's and I will say this now just before I go because I want to kind of keep these videos short. Most of the time that I have down days, it's not because of being trans. It's generally just life and stuff going on, and maybe absorbing too much stuff in the world that you can't do anything about, and um, learned helplessness is a terrible affliction really because in the old days we might have just had like one issue that we had to worry about, and you could go out and make a protest about it and wave a banner maybe. But these days there's so much going on that's bad. It's so much that it's just overwhelming. And what people tend to do is like, if it's just, if it's just one thing, they'll say, okay, let's sign a petition, let's do something about it. But if it's like a multitude of things, it's there's just too much. I give up. And I think that's a case of learned helplessness in society, and I think there's a lot of that going on. So I mean, if I could give advice right now today's just step away from the news. Give yourself a break because honestly, you feel 100 times better sometimes when you just take a few days. You don't have to completely switch off television, but just take a few days to watch nonsense and just laugh and just watch a tacky comedy from the 90s or cartoons and stuff. For just go for a walk and just avoid hearing about stuff because these days there's so many people out there who just want to tell you about all the bad stuff in life, and social media is a hotbed of that kind of philosophy of life. It's let's just spread the bad news, and sometimes it gets a little bit too much, and it's not being apathetic, it's not burying your head in the sand. It's just a little bit too much sometimes, and I think I've kind of reached one of those periods that because I've got things that I need to do in my life, I need to just take a step back and focus on them. So I hope you're well tonight. I hope you don't mind me kind of turning up like this. I look like I've been dragged through a hedge. I kind of looked a little bit like that last night, but at least I had the remnants of my makeup on from the day, and at least I kind of feel nice and fresh and clean now, which is more than I could say for about an hour ago. So, folks, I really hope you have a great day, and I'm going to try and make a video every day. If I can't think of anything to say tomorrow, I won't make a video, but if I can, then I will. And I will, I think I'm going to include little snippets of, what's going on in the world. Maybe in the UK, maybe, um, around the planet. But I'm not, I'm not a news reader. I'm not a reporter or journalist. I soak up information probably like most of you. And if it's something that's kind of bothered me enough to actually, I don't know, maybe post something on social media, then obviously it's probably kind of worth talking about. And but yeah, I'm not gonna let things get to me, because most of these things you can't do anything about anyway. So um, have a lovely evening, and hopefully I'll speak to you all soon. All three of you, four of you now. I have 4 subscribers on his channel. That's fantastic, and I hope that the three that I've had for quite a while, generally kind of like jump in. Um, I've probably got opinions on most things, but most of my opinions are wrong, as I found out. But sometimes it's the thoughts that come into your head. I'm trying not to be too loose with my lips on his channel, and just try and be a little bit sort of just true to how I'd feel, how I'd talk to friends, maybe. Um, so my hair's a little bit drier now. I might have to. I'm still going to dry it, blow dry it, but it's good just to let it dry naturally sometimes. So until next time, just take care of yourselves, and yeah, like I said, if I don't do a video tomorrow, I will do a quick one, maybe on Saturday. But who knows? I might be full of ideas in my tiny little head tomorrow that I want to talk about. And for definite, I want to use this platform now to kind of improve my life. Because we all get in a rut, and it don't matter how old you are either. Life can change, on a it can switch just like that. The whole script can flip on you, and I think if you might have a lovely happy life, and something horrible happens, and you find yourself that everything you knew, everything you took for granted is now gone. And yeah, it's things that happen in life change you, and sometimes um you have to put plans into place then to actually adapt. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna say good night, and see if I can watch something happy on television. Who knows? And maybe next time I will make more of an effort. But I don't know. I quite enjoy just like coming straight out of a shower and in front of a camera. So I hope you don't mind. I hope I haven't put you off your tea. Yeah, and again for about the 5th time, just take care and have a great, great day tomorrow.